All right, today we're diving into something really cool called destiny cards. It's a system that, get this, is supposed to map out the entire energetic blueprint of your life.
Okay, so let's just jump right in with a question I bet every single one of us has asked. Ever wonder why some relationships are just easy, they just flow, and then others are so intense and complicated?
Well, what if I told you that an ancient system says the answers aren't in some complex astrological chart or anything like that? Nope, they're supposedly hidden right in plain sight, in a simple deck of playing cards.
So yeah, let's get into it. We're talking about an ancient card science. This system, it's called the science of the cards, and it's this really unique mix of numerology and planetary influences, all using a regular deck of 52 cards.
So what is the science of the cards, really? At its heart, it's this super structured system. It basically takes a standard deck of playing cards and turns it into something like a cosmic calendar. It then layers on top of that all these planetary influences and numerology to figure out the energetic patterns of our lives. Pretty wild, right?
And the origins of this stuff are supposedly super ancient, really mystical. We're talking roots in ancient Egyptian practices, and some people even believe it goes way further back, maybe even to Atlantis. But today it's used for something really specific, to create your own personal energy map, a map of your past, your present, and even your future.
So you're probably wondering, okay, how does this work for me? And this is the crazy part. The entire system, this whole map, it all comes down to just one thing: your birth date. That's it. That's the key that unlocks your personal card portrait and all your lifelong energy patterns. Okay, so now let's get into the nitty-gritty of how this map is actually put together. The whole system is built on these two foundational layouts, or spreads, that basically map out two different versions of your life, the ideal versus the real.
And this is where it gets really interesting. Think of it like this. On one hand, you have what's called the natural spread, or the spiritual spread. This is like the perfect, ideal blueprint of your soul's potential. It's everything you could be. But then on the other hand, you have the mundane spread, or the life spread. And that one, that's reality. That's the map of the energetic patterns and the real-world stuff you actually have to deal with.
So how do you get from the ideal you to the real you? Well, there's this process called quadration, and without getting too deep in the weeds, it's basically a way the system transforms that perfect spiritual map into the one you're actually living. It's what creates your real life path with all its challenges and opportunities.
All right, so we've talked about the spreads, but it's not just about where your card is placed. We have to decode the cards themselves, because each card, from the ace all the way up to the king, has its own meaning. It represents a single step on the soul's journey, which is told in 13 steps.
So see, the 13 cards in every suit aren't just random numbers. They're seen as these evolutionary stages for the soul. It's a whole journey of growth, starting with initiation and going all the way up to complete mastery.
And you can really see the progression here. Like you start with the number 1, the ace, which is all about initiation, that raw ambition. So if you're an ace, you might feel this constant pull to start new things. Then you move up through the numbers, right? You get to the 8, which is all about power and persistence. Then 9 is about completion, letting go. And finally, you get to 13, the king, which is all about authority and true leadership.
Okay, so we've got spreads, we've got numbers, we've got these ancient origins. But let's get to the real question. What can your cards actually reveal? This is where it all becomes super practical and personal for you.
I mean, look at this. Your personal energy map can apparently show you so much. We're talking about your personality, your hidden talents, even your hidden consciousness. It can break down relationship dynamics with literally everyone. Family, partners, coworkers. It can show you patterns in your career and your finances, point out key years in your life, and even get into your spiritual path and the karmic lessons you're here to learn. It's a lot.
And all of this brings us right back to where we started, with those big questions about our relationships. Why are we drawn so strongly to certain people? This system says it can show you the hidden architecture behind that feeling, that magnetic pull you just can't explain.
It also helps explain why some connections feel so intensely charged, the ones that are just full of sparks, whether they're good sparks or bad ones.
And what about this? Why are some relationships just so lighthearted and fun, while others feel serious, like they're heavy and they demand real work?
And this one might be the most fascinating of all.
Why does it sometimes feel like energy is literally flowing from one person to another in a relationship? Well, this system suggests that's not just a feeling. It's a real dynamic, and it's all part of your energetic design.
But here's the most important thing to remember. The whole point of this isn't to predict some fixed, unchangeable fate. Not at all. It's about giving you a map of your life, a map of your energy, so you can navigate everything with more awareness, more understanding, and ultimately, more choice.
So I'll leave you with this to think about. If you could actually see your life's energetic patterns laid out plain and simple like a roadmap, what would you do differently?